Hello everyone, welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Before we get to the video, I'd like to thank you all for your support and remind you that we're doing a jersey giveaway when we hit 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers is our goal to reach by the end of this month, so make sure you subscribe, stay subscribed, follow me on Twitter at MLS Moves for the latest updates on the giveaway. Now, on to the video. Today, we're breaking down the Week 9 MLS recap. So first, we're going to start off with Inter Miami and Nashville SC. Now, Nashville SC has really struggled this season, and if I had to put one coach that I have on the hot seat, it would have to be Gary Smith. I mean, they've only got one win this entire season. This is a club that had consistently made the playoffs and been a contender since their inception, but they've really started to struggle and show their weaknesses in MLS, especially with them not keeping up with certain player acquisitions and taking advantage of the roster rules. But Messi is finally starting to cook. Messi is finally starting to get back to his normal self, and he had a brace this game. He was by far the best player on the pitch. He was nutmegging people, dribbling around everyone. I mean, he was putting on an absolute show. And on top of his brace, he set Sergio Busquets up for his first MLS goal with a corner kick. This team was absolutely rolling, and this is even with the injuries that this team has. I mean, they just cannot avoid the injury bug. Several players keep getting hurt. Diego Gomez went out in the game. Looks like it could be a serious injury. Jordi Alba is said to have a hamstring injury. He looks like he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. You know, if this team was healthy, I mean, it'd probably be the deepest team we've seen in MLS history. 3 of their 4 U22 players are currently injured, which is not good, especially with that being such a valuable roster spot or valuable. That's just such a valuable player for a team. That's just such a valuable designation for a team. It really, you can really start to see this team getting beat up. Luis Suarez has kind of cooled down a little bit. He has not been bad, but Messi is starting to overtake Luis Suarez as the front runner of MVP of the team and maybe even front runner for MVP of the season. This team is rolling. Nashville SC, like I said, continue to struggle. Sam Surridge can't find the back of the net. Hani Mukhtar has really struggled this season. This team just needs a lot of help. When Gary Smith inevitably gets fired, they're going to have to do a complete rebuild. Keep Hani Mukhtar, obviously, because he's a very good player, but they have to build around him and give him some help, or they're never going to have a chance. Now, moving on to the LA Galaxy and San Jose Earthquakes. San Jose, I mean, they are just very, very bad. I mean, they are horrible. They're 1-8. They've lost 8 games so far this season, only won, and they just look abysmal. I wouldn't be surprised to see Luchi Gonzalez get fired as well. The LA Galaxy put on a clinic. LA kind of got a little sloppy. They were up 3-1 and they conceded 2 goals. But it never really felt like San Jose had a chance in this game. Gabriel Peck got a goal off a deflection. Paintsel obviously scored the PK. Yoshida was able to score on a corner. And then Ricky Puig, the best player on this team, still finessing, still playing very well, orchestrating this club. They just look like they're back. They look like the dynasty we saw in the Bruce Arena era. The LA Galaxy seem like they are the best team in the West, and it doesn't really look like it's close. Vancouver is another team, like I've said, that looks like they could have been up there, but the Galaxy waxed them last week, beat them 3-1. So I just don't think there's another team in the West currently better than the Galaxy. They have to be the front runner in the West. And, San Jose's got their issues. There's obviously commitment issues from the ownership group. Look like they're not investing enough to make this team competitive. And I think with more resources being poured and invested in clubs in MLS, you're going to see the gap widen between cheaper clubs and more ambitious clubs. And, you got to feel for the fans. You got to feel for San Jose. The days of Wondolowski seem far gone, and this club just has no direction. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'll be curious to see if Lucci ends up getting fired or if they roll with him the rest of the season, even with the poor results. Now, the next game is Atlanta United and FC Cincinnati, in which FC Cincinnati beat Atlanta United 2-1. the game was kind of slow paced at the beginning. You know, there wasn't a lot of excitement in it. And then in the second half, Thiago Almada scored in the 59th minute, scored an absolute banger. And, you know, you can tell the team kind of struggles to score goals, especially with Giakoumakis being out the last couple games. But they're trying to integrate him back in. He came in and played 30 minutes in this game. But in the end, Lucho Acosta, the 2023 MLS MVP, absolutely cooked in the second half. He was back to his playmaking ability, dribbling like crazy, making extraordinary plays, setting up Corey Baird to score the goal, and then scoring his own goal. I mean, Lucho Acosta, when he is playing to his capabilities, arguably is a top 2, top 3 player in the league. FC Cincinnati is looking like their last season self once again. Obviously, Bupenza has not lived up to expectations. They haven't replaced Brandon Vasquez quite yet, even though there's reports that Cincinnati is on the verge of signing striker Kevin Kelsey from Shakhtar of Ukraine. This would be a very nice pickup, signing the young Venezuelan striker, and hopefully with more goal-scoring help on the way, trying to replace Brandon Vasquez, this club can really pick up where they left off last season and maybe even compete for the MLS Cup in 2024 like they did in 2023. I'm not really worried about it. Now, Atlanta United, on the other hand, I'm still not completely sold on Gonzalo Pineda. We'll see what happens when Giakoumakis gets fully integrated back in the starting 11. Obviously, he is one of the most lethal scoring strikers in the league. We'll see what happens and what kind of difference he can make once he gets fully integrated in the starting 11 once again. Just to go around some other scores around the league, we had New York City FC beat DC United 2-0. New York City looks like they're starting to figure things out and starting to come on like a little bit of a winning streak or unbeaten streak. Nick Cushing might finally get this thing turned around. Montreal and Orlando City ended in a draw 2-2. The Columbus Crew and the Portland Timbers also ended up in a draw 2-2. Toronto FC finally gets back on the board, wins a game 1-0 over the New England Revolution. New England Revolution curse still continues. They might be, it's a toss-up between them and San Jose of which is the worst team in MLS currently. Sporting Kansas City and St. Louis City SC was an absolute classic game. Ended in a 3-3 draw. Was a can't-miss game. I mean, it was very exciting. Really enjoyed watching that one. Austin FC gets on the board again, beats in-state rival Houston Dynamo 1-0. RSL completely smokes the Chicago Fire 4-0. Chicho Arango currently leading the Golden Boot race with 8 goals this season. He had 2 this game, and he also had 2 assists. He's absolutely brewing right now. The Colorado Rapids beat FC Dallas 2-1. Dallas still struggles. Nico Estevez has to be on the hot seat. Another coach that looks like he could be fired sooner rather than later. The Vancouver Whitecaps beat the Sounders 2-0. Seattle is also a team struggling really bad right now. Injuries plague this team. Brian Schmetzer looks like he has no answers. That could also be a coaching change that happens sooner rather than later. Then you had LAFC and the New York Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls were up 2-1. One of the biggest surprises of the 2024 season. Even though I figured they would be a good club, they're playing better than even I expected. Looked like they had this one in the bag when it was 2-1. They had a PK called against them in the extra time of the 90th minute. Denny Bouanga converts the PK. 2-2 draw. LAFC comes away with a point. Minnesota United completely steamrolled Charlotte FC 3-0, and they're another surprise team that looks to be rolling in 2024. Eric Ramsey looks like he's been a good addition, even though the team was having success before he was appointed manager. Let me know in the comment section, what was your biggest takeaway of Week 9 in MLS? What was your surprise? Is there any player that really stood out to you? Any club that surprised you or disappointed you in Week 9? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know, who do you have as the leading candidate for MVP of 2024? Do you have Messi? Is it Suarez? Is it Chicho Arango? Is it someone else? Let me know down below. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. And until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.